I emerged from isolation 2 times. Um, Pandemic was very, and still is, very hard time for everyone. And for me, somehow surprisingly was kind of liberating. My life before isolation, lockdown, was full of events, full of traveling. I was basically not stopping at all. I felt independent, strong. All things I thought they are crucial to be a real woman nowadays. What I missed was the tiny moment which I ask myself, during which moment I ask myself, who am I and what I need? What I need? Not everyone, not general. And asking myself, what's the sound of my life? Who am I? And the COVID time, when was kind of strictly forbidden to go anywhere, I was locked down in my house alone. I stopped. I really stopped for the first time in my life, moving around, thinking that I'm really, having my life in control, and I'm fulfilling the dream of women of 21st century. And I realized that many things I just made to prove myself that I can do, but I didn't really want this in my life. During pandemic, I realized that I can be vulnerable and still be a woman, and I can be fragile. And I love spending time at home. Surprisingly, I was always avoiding that because it was kind of cliche that it's a box for a woman. But apparently, I got trapped into another box of being pushed to do something which I really don't need it to do to prove that I am a woman fulfilling my life. And that time really helped me understand that isolation can have many different corners, many different faces. During pandemic, I stopped one more thing. I stopped playing violin, which I'm doing this professionally for many years. And I was thinking why we're needed as a musicians. When I'm not seeing the sense of what I'm doing, I stop doing. That's my thing, and I stopped playing. I saw that many governments, they don't really need us. They didn't. We were at the very end of financial support, and also some marketing, social marketing, that we need to change our profession. We need to start now being, I don't know, delivery man or delivery woman, or whatever it's needed. And I ask myself, why we not needed, and what's the sense of what I'm doing as a musician? I stopped that, and I felt very bad with that. And then there was a crucial moment when I went for the first time to the opera, to the ballet, and I was really overwhelmed by the beauty of the play, of the ballet, of the staging, of the music, the live music, and people which were that were around me and were clapping, applauding. And at the very end of the spectacle, I cried. I couldn't stop crying. And then it went to my head, the phrase I know, the preface, the first line of the preface of Oscar Wilde, The Portrait of Dorian Gray, which is all art is not needed. It's not. And then at that time, when I read that for the first time, I thought it's kind of provocation and sarcasm, but it's really true. We're not needed in the way we are not bred to feed people, but somehow the art is the thing, the most needed to maintain humanity. This not necessary, and that's why it's so needed. It comes from the very inside of the humanity, and it just changing mindset, it changing kind of soundtrack of life. Isn't that important? I think not only the things that are really moving in front of our eyes, that are just keeping our attention, but also the things which are surrounding us and lead us to the action. And I think that's the role of music, and role I understood why I emerged from the isolation from my instrument. I think all of us have kind of boxes that we're stuck in, and why once we notice that there is a time to ask yourself, where is my way and what's my role? It can be really surprising. It can be not as you thought before. That's for sure. Being in the orchestra is always struggling of the feeling of being invisible, being in the mass, in the massive quantity of the people. And very often we think we don't have a voice because we're playing in the second violin, eighth stand. But what's important, the drive to be visible, to be noticed, to have any proof of our existence to the others. I think we should start from being visible to ourselves, and the isolation from ourselves is also isolation from being visible to ourselves.